What is up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 21 of Guardians Franchise. We are here near the end of the 2026 season, which means we didn't really have an exciting chase, y'all. And I will say, it's not for a lack of effort. It is because of the juggernaut that we were trying to chase down, the Baltimore Orioles. We are on September 28th, and I said, if I join you in late September, it's because there was just nothing materializing to really go over and do the sim by series that we like to do down the stretch. And it is because Baltimore is just too darn good. Since I last left, y'all, we went 34-18, which is an amazing run, y'all. That is, you're talking, that's going to be a 106 win percentage pace. And we lost ground. We lost a game in that period because Baltimore is so damn good. It's unbelievable. It's annoying. But it gives us something to chase, right? There's our rabbit. 22-3 in July for them, 18-10 in August, 16-8 here in September. Frankly, I could have taken it all the way to the finish line, but I figure we can play out a little bit here while we're kind of talking over some things. We got 4 at Baltimore and then 3 at Detroit. Even if we won all 7 and they lost all 7, it wouldn't matter. But this will be a fun little test against them before we enter the playoffs. What was crazy was during one period of time, we lost ground during a win 7 because we were 7-3 in that time and they were 9-1. And that it was around then that I was like, okay, this is just not happening. We'll keep running it out and doing the best that we can, of course, but it's not going to happen. All right. I had to check. The draft is not yet. It's probably going to be in the off season, so I'll just wait. But I mentioned this last episode about wanting to switch it back to 20 rounds, but I'm just not comfortable messing with it when it still says 2026. I don't really think anything's going to happen, but I just don't want to mess with it until the next year has flipped. So we'll just stay on top of that and remember to do that. We did deal with a bunch of injuries, but as I mentioned with the success, it didn't really matter. Jaime Arias went down. He actually just came back. At one point, Brian Rocchio, Jose Ramirez, and Lonnie White Jr. were all dealing with pretty moderate injuries that were day-to-day, but when it's up to moderate, then you're starting to get a penalty there that maybe you want to avoid. Joey Cantillo did get August starting pitcher of the month. Oh, we had some really bad news as we lose 2 of these first 4 to Baltimore here, and there's some bad news as well. Jojo Romero, elbow inflammation, about 8 weeks. Okay, well that stinks, so we'll put him on the IL, but I'll get to the other bad news in a moment. We do have Tim Herron down in AAA, so that makes for an easy move. He's gotten 5 innings under his belt in his rehab, so there you go. That's at least an easy 1-for-1, lefty for lefty, no fuss, no muss, but not great to see Romero go down. Even though he hasn't been amazing with us, I just obviously don't want anybody to get hurt. Now, one thing that is happening here is I am recording both of these on the same day, both episodes 20 and 21. So I asked for opinions about our trainer and replacing him with one of the guys that was available. I don't know if they're going to be available by the time you all see that, because that first episode isn't going up until tomorrow in my universe, when I've already recorded this one. In my universe, it's our universe, but you know what I mean, right? I'm trying to reference days that are in the past now for y'all. So, we'll have those other trainers there and we'll see what ends up popping up. I don't mind doing that. We've got these interesting guys here with Canigliaro and Kenny. Hopefully they're still available with a bevy of other names. So I'm not too worried about it, but I did realize when I was going to do the recording today, I was like, well, wait a minute. They're never going to see that. Like I said, though, I'm always interested in the opinions because I can learn stuff from it going forward, too. So never hesitate to give an opinion on something that has already passed, as I mentioned last step. So back to the bad news that I was talking about. So remember when Shane Bieber got hurt? And I was like, oh, dang, he's cooked for the year, because he got hurt on June 1st and it said 3 months. Well, hello, that's June, July, August. Is the 3 months there? Comes back early September. Great. What's the bad news, Paul? Pitched 36 pitches, he got hurt again, arm exploded. He's done. And you might call him Law and Order, because he might be done, y'all. Torn labrum, 4 to 5 months, age 31, really starting to take it on the chin health-wise. really starting to have some problems. This is coming off the torn triceps, some elbow inflammation to start the year. This was just a nightmare season. This could be the beginning of the end. Don't forget, torn rotator cuff for 4 months last year as well. And that was after a sprained ankle. Just throw that in if you want another injury on the body there that's at least away from the arm. But all this stuff here, 2 shoulder, an elbow, and an arm, just in a year and a half, it's over. Now, that's okay from our standpoint because he didn't vest his option for next year. So, you know, from the team context, it's fine. It's a bummer because I love Beaver. I wanted him to be good and be a big part of this, but that's just not how it is. Did I mention that Keegan Aiken went out for 4 weeks with tendonitis? We've had relievers just in and cycling around, which that's very true to real life. I mentioned Arias returned. Oh, September expansion, we brought up Logan Allen. We brought back Logan Allen, as well as Wilfredo Antunes, prospect that was doing well. By the way, I just forgot to mention, or maybe I mentioned it at the very outset. I don't know. I actually did like 4 takes on the intro, so I might have said it in one of those busted intros. I said in episode 20 that the next episode will be the draft recap and farm report. As you're seeing this, you clearly know that that is no longer the case. That episode is still coming. It's just going to be in a different order. I decided I wanted them to get some numbers going, since the prospects can go into A-ball or into rookie ball, and some of them can go a little higher. I think most of our guys are in A-ball. They can get some numbers on the board. So I think it's better to look at it at the end of the year and really see if they even did something in their little sample. Not that it'll be a major factor to judge them off of, but just something to look at. So that you can still expect that episode if that's something that interests you. Blogs, our boy, Hayden Boggs, had a 3-homer game somewhat recently here, 9/24 against Charlotte in an 11-0 win. In fact, he's been on fire since I've been simming August and September. At least anecdotally, he's on fire. No, it's true. 11 homers in September. He had 5 in August, which is totally fine. That's a useful month, right? You know, 5 every month, that you're a 30 home run hitter. But he jumped up to 11 here to make up for the tough May, and all of a sudden, boom, he's at 34 homers with about 4 or 5 games left. Maybe he can stack on another 1 or 2, and there it is, like clockwork. I didn't even see that. Voted September's top rookie, so there you go. Hayden Boggs, killing it. Mazinger is his nickname, or Mazinger. I don't know. I like Mazinger. That was Mazinger. I don't know. Just ignore me, please. So anyway, let's finish this out. I think we're getting absolutely decimated here by Baltimore. Oh, we did win. Okay, we won the last 2. Never mind. Don't be a crybaby, Paul. We went 2-2. Let's take a look here. 4-3 we lose. So we lose a 1-run game. Burnsy, dominant. McKenzie, wasn't great. And that did us in. We did our best to come back against the bullpen. Couldn't quite get there. But at least Romero and Almon held it down. Almon has gotten back on track. Feeling a lot better about him. You look at his composite relief numbers, 360 ERA, 114 whip in 35 innings. So we're back into trusting him. He's back in the stopper role. Then we lost 7-6. And this one, Gray just wasn't good. Actually, neither Gray was. They have John Gray, and he wasn't good. We beat up our buddy Gavin Williams, who's actually having a pretty good year for them. In fact, they're using him as a bulk reliever, 105 innings and 64 appearances, 308 ERA, 119 whip. So there you go. Nice season for Gav. How's Manzo doing? Manzardo, oh, he's so good, y'all. 40 doubles, 25 homers. We got Stowers and Kerstead. Kerstead didn't have a crazy season. He's fine, 2.2 WAR, league average hitter, not bothered by it. And Stowers, league average hitter, only 0.2 WAR. He's a DH as well, so he has to hit off the charts to really register. Plus, he's a platoon guy, so I think they're starting to win that trade. I think they're starting to win that one a little bit there now. If Gavin Williams is a piece as well, but I'm still comfortable with it. I like Kerstead. I had more confidence that he could develop into a premium hitter than Manzardo, especially with the premium defense too. Even if he's a little bit behind in the bat, the added positive defense really helped, especially because we had first baseman. We had left-handed Josh Naylor, and he and Kyle Manzardo were redundant. Now, we didn't really realize that we weren't going to keep Naylor, but, things happen. I'm not too bent out of shape about it. Ooh, not a bad guy here, Santiago Soto. Some upside. Definitely going to need to develop that home run and stuff, but he's 17, high work ethic. Let's go. Little international find. keep tabs on them. Let's get a deeper scouting report, see how that goes. All right, so we got 3 at Detroit to cap off the season, and then let's get into the playoffs. We're going to try a new setup here, and you guys let me know what you think about it. I'm used to running the games out. Oh my God, we get 1-0'd. 7 total hits. We had 4, they had 3, but one of theirs, actually no, it wasn't one of theirs. It was a sac fly by Dingler. Did the job. A lack of a hit did the job there. Cantillo v. Ty Madden, hook 'em horns there with Ty Madden. But you guys let me know what you think with this new setup that we're going to do. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through the different series, and if we have an elimination game, we're going to jump into it. Other than that, we're going to sim and kind of see how it goes. I do love playing it out. It does get a bit lengthy though, especially 7-game set deep into the playoffs. So just let me know where you guys are at. I'm not done with those 100%, but I want to kind of take the temperature of where people are with their preferences. We do go 8-0 here against the Tigers. See some final numbers. We've been a doubles machine of a team, at least in all these box scores I've been looking at down the stretch. Curious to see where we rank in doubles. It's probably anecdotal from watching a bunch of box scores, but I do wonder, where are our guards? Okay, we're kind of middle of the pack, yeah. So it was probably just anecdotal of seeing some big doubles games, and that makes sense because I have a bias toward clicking on some of the high scoring games, and so I'm going to be digging into those box scores more. Of course, you're going to see more extra base hits, so yeah, that checks out. All right, last game here. Can we take the last series of the year? And it looks like we lost there. I think I saw some red. Joe Donovan is retiring. So is Nick Hazy. That's when your friend Nick is lit. 420 time. Nick's hazy, man. You gotta watch out for him. All right, please set your playoff roster. Can do. Who do we have? Let's look at the chart, or the tree rather. And we've got the Twinkies. Let's go. Our former division rivals here. So Seattle and Baltimore get the byes. It'll be Texas and Tampa Bay in the other wild card matchup. Arizona, Milwaukee on the one in the National League, and then Jacksonville against Chicago. We talked about Jacksonville, formerly the Rockies, maybe getting out of that park, in that environment there. Maybe they become a little bit more of a normal team, and here they are making the playoffs. Second year in Jacksonville, they went 78-84 last year. Not bad. That's kind of your run-of-the-mill bad team, competitive, but not, just not quite there yet. Boom, they jump up 12 wins to 92, and they've got themselves a playoff berth. Damn, they put it on Portland here to end the season 20-3. How's that for a finishing touch? J.J. Weatherholt ripped his 6th homer for them. Only 6 bombs. That's interesting. So he had an amazing season. 5-WAR campaign by leading the league with a 337 average and 51 doubles. But his power just hasn't really come through. But everything else rules. So you can't really complain. I do love seeing 6 homers with 95 ribbies. That is awesome. One of my favorite seasons ever is Tom Herr. He had 100 ribbies, or over 100, or at least 100, I should say, with like 8 homers. In 1985, 8 homers, 110 ribbies. That's just such a wild season because you usually need power to deliver like that. So Weatherholt, similar type here. Gabriel Hughes, I've seen this guy develop for them both in last year's game and this year's game a bit. I'm curious if this guy will pan out in real life for Colorado. Obviously, life is much easier now that he's in Jacksonville. He doesn't have to worry about the vagaries of Coors, although he didn't do that well. So he's not a stud here, but I just wanted to see if he has the upside. Doesn't look like it quite like he did, especially in last year's game. He became a stud for him with the Rockies in a couple of my sims. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see what we got for our playoff roster. All right, so they like Logan Allen making the roster. Don't think I agree with that. Oh, he had a pretty good September. But wait, how much of that was in the majors? No, he gave up runs in 5 of his 7 outings. Yeah, no thanks. So Heron will make it. And then hitter-wise, I think I'm good with the names that they took. Yep. Oh, they put in Tuñez. Oh, I mean, he had an amazing AAA season, which is really impressive. Had 3 plate appearances in the majors, just the playing time wasn't there. But I'm curious if that's really the guy. Is that really the right guy there? Who would it be if it's not him, though? I see you, Gabriel Arias, getting a little hot streak going with your terrible bat. 3 multi-hit games in a row to cap off the season. 4 in your last 6. Had a baby. Namgung had a nice little debut, by the way. And we'll do, of course, a stat wrap-up at the end of the season. I don't know. I think I might take Antunes. Actually, the thing of it is, though, well, he can play some defense. He's a lefty, though, so that makes him kind of just another Stowers. And I do wonder if, for a playoff roster, DeLuca just has more value because he can play some defense, he can run, and he himself can hit, and had a great season at AAA. So I do think, despite not playing in the majors much of this year, Johnny DeLuca makes the playoff roster. Diane Frias had some time with us, not going to make it. Tyler Freeman, no. David Fry, no. Yeah, none of these other guys just like really jump out. It really is Antunes versus DeLuca. Again, I just think DeLuca brings more value in the playoffs. So we'll end up with 5, well, I guess it ends up being 6 outfielders then too. Is that too much? You know, because you got Stowers here as a DH. Do I need to take one of these infielders? I don't think so, because like against righties we have 2 hitters, or 2 outfielders and 2 infielders as backups. And Royce does get in as an outfielder against lefties, but that's fine. All right, so the playoff roster is set. We're going to actually go ahead and take Antunes off. Again, excellent AAA season, really cool. Wasn't able to find room for him in the September stretch there to get some burn. We're going to take Johnny DeLuca instead. I think he just brings more to a playoff roster by having true center field potential defense. Now, he's not a great center fielder, but he can play there. Antunes cannot. He's got the speed component, and he's not a bad hitter himself. Can come in as a pinch hitter against a lefty for like Cal Stowers or something. And so that was the thing too. If Antunes was was righty, that would make him the platoon for Stowers. So that's kind of what cost him in the end. He's young enough that if he performs and really does become something, hopefully he has other playoff chances. So I'm not going to feel too bad about not taking him on the playoff roster. All right, so let's get to our first game against Minnesota. We only have the 1 day off. Let's go ahead and sim that. And let's see what we've got here. Oh, Antunes, is he anything from the scouting report? Ooh, his potential and current eye both improve. All right, we'll take that. All right, so with all righties for Minnesota, we're not too worried about much. Now, we are stuck at the back end of our rotation just because of how the end of the season worked and because I'm a moron, dude. Oh, I didn't even think about that. We actually had the potential to set it up properly, and I just wasn't even thinking. And the main reason I wasn't thinking is because I thought there would be more than one off day, and I don't know why I thought that. There's no reason to think that. Unless you get the bye, there's no way you should be thinking that. So that really sucks. I biffed it. Now, the one positive, or at least it's not a positive, because that would imply that there was a reason to do this on purpose. The one silver lining is that we trust our rotation pretty equally 1 through 5. B. Woody getting the opening nod hasn't been great results wise. It's been fine, but 20% strikeout minus walk is one of the best going. It's just the home runs, way too many homers. That's a real big problem for him. If we keep him around, we might throw his old ass in the lab. He keeps knocking on our door for a re-up. And I don't know if I got it. Oh yeah, now he wants way more. Never mind. It's off the table now. Earlier it was 17 mil, 5 years. So now he's going 22 mil, 6 years. Never mind. That's just not happening. So yeah, he's gonna have to start game 1, then Bradish, then Cantillo. Actually, Cantillo might be ready for game 2. Yeah, he should be ready for game 2, so that's fine. So Woodruff, Cantillo, McKenzie, Gray, Bradish. I got no problems with that. We're all right there. So let's go ahead and do that. Get it going. We'll be facing their ace, which is Pablo Lopez. I was going to say that just as a guess because that's who their ace is right now, but I wasn't sure if he'd held up. Wow, he has been as steady as you can get, man, since getting to Minnesota. Actually, even the year before in Miami when he really set the groundwork for him being a healthy stud. Because that was the thing early on. He showed the talent, but he couldn't stay healthy. Similar shoulder issue kind of kept barking and getting him. Then he finally put up a $180 and then a buck 94 and 23, and it was like, okay, this guy's for real. And then in our universe, he's gone 193, 190, 193. So he's just been one of the best pitchers. Can we beat him game one here? We can. Let's go. 4-0 win. B. Woody steps up and says, how do you like me with that one? 7 1/3, 2 runs, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 11 punchies. 9 punchies for Lopez, too. So both pitchers were dealing. We just got to him a little bit. And when I say we, I mean one guy specifically. Hayden M. Effin Bloggs, the 34-homer man. Only had 97 ribbies because we batted him pretty low in the lineup. But, man, what a season he had. And he rips 2 playoff homers with us in his playoff debut. Massive. 2 for 3, 2 runs, 3 ribs. Ball game there. All right, let's sim through the day. All right, so we got Varland v. Bradish. Is Cantillo not ready? He is ready. Okay, as I suspected. So let's go back to always start highest rested and put Cantillo up there. McKenzie will be ready, Gray, and we will have to put Bradish there so that he's ready if we have to go to 5. All right, so a game 1 win is massive. Let's get game 2 here. Oh, I do like from this standpoint. Oh, wait, no. It shows it here too. Sorry. I've never done playoffs like this, so I'm just being an idiot about things. I'm like, I like from this part where they show who the pitchers are, as if they don't show it right here too, Paul. Jeez. Can Cantillo give us a 2-0 lead? Let's find out. No, 7-1. He might have gotten murked. What happened? Yeah, they scored 3 in the first, another in the second. So they got to him for 4 quickly. He ends up giving up 6 and 5 1/3. That's rough. That's rough. Meanwhile, Varland shut us down. 2 hits, an unearned run. Brock Stewart and Jay Jackson didn't allow anything over 3 innings except for 2 walks. Gallo, Tolv, and Julien all go yard. All right, so we got to wash that one away. That was ugly. We split at home. Off to Minnesota we go. Game 1's going to be game 3, aka 1 in Minnesota there, will be Tristan McKenzie against Joe Ryan. And we win 4-0. Let's go. Love to see that. So what do we have? 2 4-0 wins? Yeah, 2 4-0 wins and a 7-1 loss. So this time around, it was Lonnie White Jr., Kyle Stowers, Charlie Condon, and Hayden Bloggs gets his 3rd. So we go off the power of 4 homers, 4 solo shots, get the job done. All 4 of them off Joe Ryan. That's his weakness. You know, I'm always mapping out, how we can get to guys in these playoffs, and it rarely plays out exactly how I want. It's like, oh, this guy has 20 BABIP. We're going to get a ton of hits. He throws a 1-hitter through 7. This guy's got a 40 homer. The good way to get him is to go yard. Homerless through the entire sim. But this is when a plan comes together. A 40 home run rating for Joe Ryan, always his biggest issue. 2.3 homers on the season, and we ripped 4 solos. I like to see that. All right, so next day, we've got an elimination game here. Now, what I should have said, oh no. This sucks. Andres Jimenez diagnosed with elbow tendonitis, out 3 to 4 weeks. All right, that stings. That stings a little bit, y'all. That stings a little bit. Let's put him on the IL. We can work around this, though. You know why? Because Rocchio wasn't even starting every day. So the kind of depth that we have now, we just say, all right, Rokes. Actually, I had gotten him back into the verse righty lineup. But he is still platooning a little bit. So now we jump him into the shortstop position. We pop Lewis at second. We get Arias backing up. Now Arias is going to have to back up the entire infield, right? We're going to bring an infielder in for the changeover here. Make no mistake about it. But, Arias is still playing a pretty critical role there. So let's see. Who do we want to bring on? Tena? Tena is a decent hitter. Not much pop, but, puts the ball in play. Can get some walks against righties. He's okay with, stand at the position type of defensive vibe, but a good base stealer. So there's something there. He is a lefty. Dion Frias is a switch hitter. Similar bat to Tena, and similar glove for that matter. But I like the switch hitting aspect. So you know what? I think that's going to be enough to get him on board. Bang. Done and done. Dion Frias. So he'll back up second, and we'll do second and third for him, first and short for Arias. And I'm not even going to fix the lefty lineup. Well, I guess I will. as far as the starters. But in terms of all the backups and everything, I'm not, because they don't have any lefty starters right now. So we just really don't need to meticulously fix it. So I did say, I think I said at the beginning, like, we'll play out some elimination games if they come up, which is the right framing. But I feel like it might have been implied that this game would be one that is played out because we can eliminate them. When in actuality, I should have said we will play games where we are facing elimination. So since we are not, we will see if Sonny Gray can move us to the next round. And he cannot. So we will play this next one here. 6-1, we go down. Kepler rips 2 bombs, 1 off of Gray, 1 off of Neely. Rocchio hits a homer and a little spot start for him. There you go. Or not a spot start, in the shortstop spot now that Jimenez is out. All right, so it's going to be Matt Canarino against Kyle Bradish. So it will come down to our 5th starter here after all. All in all, as far as like how we mapped out the starters, didn't end up being that bad because we wouldn't be using Cantillo here anyway. So if this had gone like 1 through 5, we would still be on Bradish at the end anyway. So we're good. Let's get back to Cleveland and get in against Matt Canarino with our boy Kyle Bradish. Now, the matchups here by position, we've got a good number of edges here. In fact, we only lose out Brooks Lee against Royce Lewis, their old guy. Royce Lewis can't even get us a dub. Correa and Rocchio are tied. And then they have Buxton over Lonnie White, which, hey, Buxton's been better in this universe than real life, which is great because I root for him for sure. But our boy Lonnie White Jr. is pretty damn good. Yeah, we got a couple, 2 out of the 3 seasons have been really healthy for Buxton. The other one was 15 games, so you're getting the whole Buxton experience here. And then we get the pitcher edge as well. All right, let's do it. We'll jump into the 6th inning, and then we'll pick it up from there. And we're up 3-2. Bradish is still out there. He's at 74 pitches, and I love when that disappears. Never infuriates me to high heaven because it's so it makes so much sense that it just disappears because all I did was click on something that is supposed to open up the bullpen, and then the whole menu disappears, like normal, because that makes a ton of sense. Drives me absolutely batty. All right, let's see if he can get, if Bradish can get the aforementioned Buxton here. 1-2 pitch coming. Struck him out looking. Let's go. All right, he's at 78 pitches. Our guys are warming. We'll visit the mound. Starting to feel, but I can pitch a little more if I need to. We got Lee, then Castellanos coming up. I'm going to give him Lee, and we'll go from there. 1-2 pitch coming. Cracked into left. That's going to get down in the corner, rattle around. That's going to be a double. That's got to be it for Bradish. Our guys got to be ready here, right? Tying run now at 2nd. Castellanos coming up. Both guys ready. Let's go to Alamon. I don't even know why I warmed up Cade Smith. It was never going to be Cade Smith. No shade. It just was never going to be Cade Smith. Alamon hits him. Ay, ay, ay. First pitch, HBP. So it'll be Kepler now. Kepler has 3 bombs. He's matching Hayden Blogg's swing for swing here. Let's see if Alamon can get him. 0-1. That's not getting him. It is a line out, though, to right field. So we do get him out, but what I meant when I said that's not getting him was the ball's going to be in play. So I'm nervous. We did eventually get him. Khalil Watson, our old friend, we didn't check in on him. He ended up putting up 1.6 WAR with 11 homers, 10 steals in 82 games of work. Not bad. Not bad at all. And by the way, and we're not judging it just off of the results of this year or anything, but Royce was not very good for us. 91 WRC plus in 218 plate appearances. Also got hurt. 10 homers, 1 steal for him versus 11 homers, 10 steals for Watson. So they might have gotten the better end. But we'll see. Again, I'm joking on saying that they got the better end because it's way too early to judge. Can we get Watson out here? 0-1. Ball's me in play again. Lifted to center. Reeled in. Let's go. I forgot for a second who our center fielder was. It's Lonnie White Jr. So we got Condon, White, Kerstead, left to right. All right, it's going to be Stowers. Bernardino's in here. By the way, they've got 4 lefties at the back end here, and then another one with Julian. So 5 lefties from 6 to 1. I know Alamon needs to dial in here, but I wonder if it makes sense to maybe just use him to finish off that inning and then go to Heron for the next inning with 3 lefties coming up. I don't know. We're going to hit a risp on us, and we do nothing there. So we're back with Alamon, and he's got a platoon for sure. He loses 10 BABIP, 5 home run, and 5 control against lefties, right? So it's a pretty significant change between the two there. First lefties on the season. He actually has a better strikeout to walk ratio at 19% compared to 11% against righties. But the home run per 9 goes from 2.2 against lefties to 0.9 against righties. So this is nerve-wracking, especially with Gallo coming up. This Tolv guy is a decent power guy, and then Julien has some decent punch. So do I go Heron or stick with Alamon? If I go Heron, we go Heron for the 7th, Smith for the 8th, Clase for the 9th, perhaps. Let's try that. I'm going to hit a risp for them too real quick. And they have Gallo on second with 1 out. Okay, what's happened? Walk to Gallo, and then a sac bunt moved him over, and they gave away the out. Okay, good. Thank you for the free out. We'll take that. So now it'll be Julien. 1-2 pitch. That one swung at but gets away. Is it going to be a drop third strike reach? No, got him. All right, and Gallo didn't advance. So 2 down. Moncada now. 1-0 pitch to Moncada. He's going to dump one into center. That's a base hit. Oh, my God. Is Gallo going to score? Yes, he is. The game is tied. Throw comes in just late there. It's 3-3. It'll be Buxton now. And now they have right switch right with and then the 5 lefties again. I should have looked deep. Well, actually, oops, sorry. I don't know if I can roast myself too much. This is not what their lineup looked like. This was not the lineup that they were showing in the lineup screen there. I don't mean before the game. I mean before the series. It looked a lot more balanced. If I'd have known that they have a 5 lefty run, I'd have brought an extra lefty with us. So this is a little nerve-wracking. Buxton against lefties is very good. I think we need to go to Cade here. Y'all, this is getting away from us a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Cade had a 1.15 ERA against lefties. Well, actually, no, that's stupid. You can't do an ERA against a handedness. It doesn't make sense. Because for there to be innings against them, what are you, just adding up every 3 outs against lefties? Okay, I kind of get it, but no, not really. So you don't do an ERA against them. That's why I always look at strikeout minus walk. And he's light years better against righties. 22% versus 3% against lefties. All right, we got to go to Cade here. We can't let Buxton beat us with a lefty. 1-2 to Buxton. Struck him out looking. Let's go. So the game is tied. We need to do something here. Pablo Lopez coming out of the bullpen. It's do or die, folks. You know they had to do it. They had to do it. Oh, boy. All right. 64% rest. Do we dare? Do we dare get Cantillo warming? Not Gray. Cantillo's at 41%. So their guy healed. Pablo healed faster. Oh, wait. Did Pablo go in game 1, though? Like a normal number 1 starter? So it would be B. Woody for us. Would be the guy that we could consider. Yeah, he's 69%. I still feel pretty good about having Clase. So that's good. But we might need to get that 8th inning out of Cade Smith. Because we're going to run out of healthy pitchers. Because we really shouldn't throw any of these 3 here. So honestly, after Clase, it kind of is B. Woody. Jesus. I'm going to sit Clase right now because I don't want him to just be tiring out. All right, let's see what we can do against Lopez. We got Bailey, then the top of the order with Rocchio and Ramirez. 0-1 to Bailey. Ground ball to second, 1 down. Game's looking a little stuttery right now. I need to do a restart. 0-1 to Rocchio. He skies one deep to left, back. Gone, Brian Rocchio. 388 Oppo Taco. It's 4-3. Let's go. That is awesome. And, you know, that's that butterfly effect of baseball. If the Jimenez injury doesn't happen, he's not batting there, etc., etc., etc. That is awesome. All right, Ramirez now, 1-0 pitch. That's going to get down for a base hit. Let's go. It will be Condon now, 1-2 pitch. And he cracks one. That's going to get into the gap in right center. Ramirez coming around second. He's going to touch third. Will he go home? Third base coach is holding him. It'll be a double for Condon. We got runners at second and third, and Lopez is feeling it a little bit. He's only had 11 pitches, but he's also on very short rest. Well, not very short, you know, normal playoff short rest. We see this a lot in the real-life playoffs, which I love. It's awesome. Lengthening your bullpen by leveraging your starters in these rounds, it's great. Kjerstad now, we got to tack on. 2-1 pitch to Kjerstad, and he cracks one. That one's deep to right, back, gone. 3-run homer, Heston Kjerstad. 396 to right field. It's 7-3, baby. Let's go. Hell yes. Miguel Castro coming in now, and we're going to hit a RISP on this one. And that's it. That's all we get is the 4, but that's amazing, of course. It's 7-3. We're going to hit a RISP here for Cade Smith. They get a run back, okay. Solo shot for Max Kepler. He just keeps being a thorn in our side. So it's 7-4. We'll hit another RISP. And they get nothing else. Okay, so 1 run back. We can live with that. Bottom 8. Nothing for us. We go clean. Cade Smith's at 17 pitches. We'll get Class A warmed up if we need him. But I think right now we're hoping Cade Smith can shut this down. He's going to get Joey Gallo here. First pitch swinging. And it's going to be a ground ball to first. 1 down. Tolve or Tolve, I don't know which one it is, but he takes a walk either way. Edward Julian, 2-2. Struck him out. And Yohan Moncada, full count pitch coming. Struck him out. Ball game, series, let's go. Bang. Whew, we had to fight for that. Great rally there. Way to pick up Tim Herron. Cade Smith. Excellent for 2 1/3. We needed it, baby. Stowers, Rocchio, Kjerstad went yard. We all obviously saw the Rocchio and Kjerstad bombs. Let's go. All right, so we take the series. Of course, Hayden Bloggs is the MVP. The only other guy that could have been would have been Kepler. Frankly, I'd have been okay with them giving it to, doing the old Connor McDavid. Wait, is it Connor McDavid or Connor David? Am I? It is McDavid. Okay, I wasn't sure if I was thinking of Conor McGregor and morphing them. Questioning myself there for a second, like I didn't just watch 7 games of a pretty crazy Stanley Cup, huh? All right, let's see what's going on elsewhere. Texas won. Okay, so let's see who we're going to play, because again, it reseeds. I don't think we're going to be playing Baltimore until the LCS if we make it. That's my understanding. I feel like we're almost certainly playing Seattle here. Both NL series are tied 2-2, so they have to finish up before anything's going to happen. Maybe both those games are today. Come on, Jacksonville. No offense, Cubs fans. And they do win. They're going to face the Mets, and we will, in fact, get the Mariners. That's what I figured, because we're the highest wild card seed by a mile. I mentioned to you earlier that Minnesota made the wild card just 2 games over. So, not the strongest wild card crop on our end. Tampa Bay leveraged a 7-game winning streak to end the season to set themselves up as the second best wild card. They'll get the Orioles. Good luck, y'all. Good freaking luck. Would love to set up a date with them, though. Hey, obviously, I'll take on whoever is thrown at us. And I do kind of want the Orioles, even though they're very, very difficult. I know it's a careful what you wish for sort of scenario. I don't care. For the drama of it, for the memes of it, I want them. But if Tampa Bay happens to beat them and we face them instead, that'll be fine. But you know what? Can't get too hung up about who we might be playing if we don't win ourselves. So let's focus on Seattle here and not lose sight of what's directly in front of us, which is a damn fine Seattle team that went 88-74. Now, were they 8 games worse than us? Yes, they were. But not our fault. Not our fault. We're awesome. Okay, so with off days here, we can narrow it down to our best 4, which, I mean, I guess would take Bradish out. But again, I kind of don't feel like we have to do that. He stepped up. He was great. Cantillo was the one who got rocked. Obviously, I'm not taking him out. I might just run our 5. I really might. I don't know. We'll see how we get toward the back end of the series. But I think as it stands right now, I'm just going to run our 5. Let's see the lefty-righty breakdown of Seattle real quick. Hopefully we don't get whambeezied like Minnesota did. So for their pitchers, all 4 righties in the rotation and then 3 lefties in the bullpen. Pretty standard stuff there. Nothing too crazy. And then for the roster, they have the right-handed Max Muncy, the young one, the prospect that's in the Oakland system right now. And then 3 true lefties. The rest are righties. Bench guys, they got right, left, switch. I think we're good as is right now. I don't think there's any sneak attacks coming with a bevy of lefties. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's keep the roster we've got here. Let's just do one quick sweep. Make sure we like it. Do we want Logan Allen in for one other guy? Maybe. Because what do we got? 5 and 2? I guess the question is, who would it be? And I'm inclined to trust Cade Smith and Reynaldo Lopez a decent bit right now here in the playoffs because of their pure stuff. And in the playoffs, you just want punchies. You do not want that ball in play. So despite their other flaws, and you can see here, Raylo actually had an amazing series. 4 1/3 scoreless with a 31% strikeout minus walk. We saw what Cade Smith did for us in that final game. He walked a few too many with a 17% walk rate during the series, but that's 3 1/3 innings. So that's probably like 2 walks or some shit. So yeah, I think we stick with these guys because it'd be one of those 2. I'm not taking out Neely, Alamon, or Clase. So it would have to be Raylo or Smith, and I don't really see it. The only thing I could see, and again, this might be a little unfair after a great season for us and a good playoff start, but the only thing that would make a tinge of sense maybe, if I wanted another lefty, would maybe be Bradish for Logan Allen. But again, we don't need that. Not against this team. Maybe if Baltimore, if we end up facing them and they're crazy lefty heavy, maybe something like that. I will say, if I'd have known that Minnesota was running 5 straight lefties at one point, I probably would have gotten Logan Allen on the roster somehow. But that series is over, and we won. So let's get into this one. Joey Cantillo against Brian Wu, game 1. We win 13-5. Let's go. Hayden Boggs opens this series with 2 homers. He has been crazy, y'all. Stepping up in October like you wouldn't believe right now, too. That 65 power coming through. Look at the bottom of the order here. 2 hits for the bottom 4. That's Stowers, Boggs, Lewis, and Bailey. Bang. And I know some of y'all might be thinking, like, well, move Boggs up. I kind of like where he's at here at 7, kind of strengthening the bottom half of the lineup. I know he's on a crazy heater right now, but this is also where he kind of broke through. And I don't like believe lineup position, especially in a game like this. Maybe in real life there is something to where you bat and your comfort level. I think definitely in certain spots, like if you're lead off, it's a lot different than if you're like cleanup. And there are some guys that can kind of go between those, like the true super duper stars like Betts and Trout and guys like that. So there's definitely some changes there. I don't know that there's much that changes between, say, like 5 and 8. Maybe there is, but I don't know. I think we'll leave him at 7. We like what he's doing down there. Really, really energizing the bottom half of the lineup. And our lineup runs pretty darn deep. You know, I talked about how Royce Lewis didn't have a great run with us. I still trust him in a given tight spot. Like, that's an amazing 8-hitter. Are you kidding me? So I got no issues with that. All right. So the game 1 win is in the books. B. Woody against George Kirby. Actually, it's going to be McKenzie, excuse me. B. Woody. What's B. Woody's deal? Oh, wait. It's because B. Woody is 4th in the order here. Do I want to switch it? No, I'll leave McKenzie 2, but I am going to put B. Woody 3 and Gray 4. I am going to do that. So let's go to game 2. Bang, we take 2 in Seattle. 2-1 win. That's amazing. Tristan McKenzie, 5 1/3 innings of 1-run ball. George Kirby threw 7 2/3 of 2-run ball, and they were both unearned. So he pitched his ass off. They just didn't have any support because McKenzie, Arias, and Almon said no. No thanks. Try again another time. All right, let's get through this day. We got an off day here. Actually, this is the off day, right? Right now? Yeah. So winning 2 in Seattle with 3 coming at home is unbelievable. Great spot to be in. Let's keep the pressure on here. 3-0 in the series. I almost said 3-0 win. That's why I stuttered there. But a 5-4 win makes it 3-0. Can we get a sweep here? Keeping our eyes solely on the prize while not obscuring the what's directly in front of us. B. Woody was okay. 4 runs in 5 1/3. Not amazing, but Almon again. I think he's really stepped up during the playoffs. I want to say he's having a killer playoff. Yeah, how's 5 1/3 scoreless work for you? He's not striking everybody out. It's only an 11% strikeout rate, but it's 0 walks, and they can't hit him for anything. He has been amazing. Let's go. All right, let's see if we get the 4-0 sweep. Keegan Aiken's back. Like to see that. He'll be back on the line on the team next round if we make it. Boggs now has 6 playoff homers, by the way. He's in line to maybe get another MVP here if we win this one. Unreal. Logan Gilbert against Sonny Gray. Sweep. Sweep, baby. Let's go. Holy smokes. We did not lose sight of the task in front of us. All right, sprained wrist for Charlie Condon puts him in some trouble for 4 weeks here. Minimal hitting impact, but moderate throwing impact. So the first thing we're going to do, first off, he's not coming off the roster. So I'll be clear on that, and we'll find out if we're facing Baltimore or Tampa Bay. Baltimore's up 3-0 as well. If the 2 Titans both go 4-0, because I'm calling us a Titan right now. All right, we had an amazing season. We were the second best team in the American League. Excuse me. The only reason we don't have the number 2 seed is because of the way the divisional and wild card situation works. And you know what? Fine. I'm not bothered by that. But we are the second best team in the NL. AL. God, why do I keep saying NL? It's not like we even switched over from the NL either. I just keep botching that. That'd be crazy if they go 4-0 as well. Boggs does indeed get it. So we go back-to-back. Series MVPs for Boggs. Let's check in on Game 4 here. Trevor Rogers v. Hunter Gaddis. Can Texas get one? They cannot. They lose 8-1. Kobe Mayo gets it. And here we go, y'all. Here we go. It's what we wanted. It's what we needed. The NL ones aren't even close to done. They're both 2-0. Mets and Dodgers are winning. Those are the 2 teams that had the byes. So the top 2 seeds are up 2-0. Let's go ahead and get those finished. We can go follow one of them. I just wanted to sim the day here. John Doxakis, Ross Carver. None of these names stood out to me as guys that I would have cared about. The international free agents, Gianpietro Bernardi is an amazing name. And his nickname is Alabama Red. I love everything about that. I wish I liked the player a little bit more because it's not that appealing of a profile, but his nickname is Alabama Red, y'all. Come on. Come on. I'll have to take care of that offline after this episode here, but yeah, we'll get into all that in the off season. All right, so in the National League, the 2 underdogs have both won. Let's follow this Jacksonville Ball Club. Let's see what they're up to here. They got Game 4 today in Jacksonville. They need Joe Rock to step up, and he does. They win 8-4. Game 5, they'll be going up against Blake Snell with Edward Cabrera. And it's going to be a save day as well, so we'll see what happens here. Adael Amador has a couple of homers in this series. He's the only multi-homer guy right now that I can see. And he hits another one this game in an 11-7 win for Jacksonville. They're right back in this. Not only are they back in it, they've won 3 straight. They are now leading this sucker. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks have won 2, so it's 3-2 over there. So both of these are getting exciting. And we will take an off day and head back to New York, where Chase Dollander and Jeffrey Springs will square off. And the Mets win to force a Game 7. And so does Arizona. Here we go, back-to-back Game 7s. Let's go. Joe Musgrove going for Jacksonville. They picked him up last year in a trade. They gave Benny Montgomery, who's like a decent prospect. Yeah, big-time fielder. I like him. I especially like him if you do a Colorado sim and you stay in Coors because of his defense. So they traded. That's the big piece, it looks like. Wilmis Paulino and Keho Kim. Yeah, it's definitely for Benny Montgomery. But not a bad move. And now they're going to see if he can get them to the World Series, or to the LCS. He cannot. They lose 1-0. What a game. Oh, my goodness, what a game. Musgrove threw 6 in the third, 1 run. Montas threw 7 scoreless. David Aldretti, the big international signing for the Mets. By the way, the Mets going to the LCS, they put in a lot of money this offseason. They made a lot of moves, including some that I chastised. But again, it was more about the long term of it, not so much that the moves couldn't work this year. So at least they're getting the good year here, although I don't see Eduardo Rodriguez. Oh, wait, didn't he get hurt? Isn't that what happened? Yeah, that's right. That's right. We had seen that he got a player of the month and or pitcher of the month, and he was doing well, but then he ended up getting hurt. So that part sucked. Was Snell also signed this year for them? Snell. Oh, he was signed last year. So that was a big outlay last year, but he's had 2 good seasons for them. And then Aldretti was another big move. Aldretti was the international guy that they paid $25 million for, and they've got him for a long term here. And he's 31, so that's a Mets move. And I don't say that as a positive. I'm sorry, Mets fans. But they know. You know, it doesn't really hurt Mets fans. We've said it all ourselves. You can't hurt us. Anything you want to say about our team, we've said way worse. I feel that way about my favorite teams too. No one's going to be like having to tell me if my favorite organizations stink. I know. All right, here we go. It's time to see if the Diamondbacks or the Dodgers are going to face off against the Mets, and it will be the Diamondbacks. They come all the way back. They go down 3-1 and then win 3 straight, 4-3, 6-3, and 3-0 to upend the Dodgers. The Dodgers playoff nightmares continue here in 2026, and we are moving along to the LCS here. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm pretty amped for this. Let's take a look at Baltimore. What have they been up to? Besides kicking ass and taking names, obviously. So their righty lineup, 1, 2, 3, 4 lefties, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And then you got switch right there in the middle, 3 through 6. And then another righty at the bottom. So nothing that really alters our team construct as far as the pitchers. I think maybe we get a third lefty, but man, I don't know who it would be. I don't know that I trust anybody more than just putting a righty in there. And then as far as their pitchers go, they'll have the 1 lefty starter and 3 lefty relievers. At least I think that's what it is. Let me look at their actual playoff roster here. I guess that's that lingering question. Do we put a lefty back on? Or not back on. Do we add a lefty here? Do we maybe go 13-13 in that instance too? That's another thing to consider. Oh, I think I got sidetracked. But first thing I want to do with this Condon injury is move him to DH. Because we are keeping him on the roster and he is still going to play. He can just DH. So that will take off the throwing issue. So then it's a lot less concerning. The injury situation is a lot less concerning because the bat is only minimally being impacted, and it's still a bummer. Like, it's still probably going to make him a bit worse than he would be normally, but not egregiously so. So I think we do that. First things first, we do have the 1 lefty starter, so I wanted to backfill the lefty lineup properly. And then we got our righty lineup situated. Let's take a look at the playoff performance real quick. Blogs obviously at the top, just dominate. Look at the lesser, not lesser, that's not the right way to phrase it. The lower part of the lineup doing work. Blogs, we already talked about batting 7th. Bailey, batting 9th, putting up some numbers. Rocchio wasn't in the starting lineup until Jimenez got hurt, putting up some numbers. We love to see it. They're picking up Lewis, Ramirez, and Kerstead, who are all terrible right now. We're not going to freak out about them. That's just how the playoffs go. There's some guys sometimes that, small samples, right? What I always look for, though, is like contributions. Have you done anything, right? So Royce has a homer. So does J-Ram, and so does, they all have a homer. 5 ribbies for Kerstead, 4 ribbies for Ramirez. I don't know what the context of those were. Were they in, high scoring games where we were already dominating, or were they key? I don't know. But they've had some contributions. It's not much. They're all hitting terribly in the composite, but they've been doing something. That's how I look at it when you're talking about the playoffs. All right, here we go. It's Baltimore time. So we've got our rotation in the order that we need, and these are the 5 that we're going with. Sorry, I keep agonizing on that lefty. Hang on. Because now I'm even more nervous about maybe doing that because, I could take DeLuca off for somebody, but then with Condon being nicked, he can't really play the outfield. And so then how's that look? I guess, okay, so against the righty, let's say we took DeLuca off and got an extra pitcher. We would have Namgung as the backup outfielder, Arias as the backup infielder, and Frias as a backup infielder, with Arias able to play the outfield capably. And then against lefties, we would have Arias backing up with Naylor and then 2 lefty hit. You know what? I think we do have the room for it. I'm going to do it. I think with those 2 packs of lefties that they have, I just want another lefty so that we have Aiken to go to if we need him. That we can go to them early too. Like in a 6th inning situation, if we want to bring in one of the lefties just for the 2-pack there, I want to be able to do that. We'll go 3 lefties, 5 righties, and we'll do a 13 pitcher setup. I usually go 14-12. I think this makes some sense here. Now, actually starting the series. Game 1 in Baltimore. We lose 7-2. I asked for this, don't forget. So if they bash our faces in, I asked for this. Basayo and Mullins go yard. Rocchio goes yard for us, but it's not enough. Cantillo gets hit. Clase does too. Why is Clase pitching in the 7th, in the 6th and 7th? And then Elmon gets absolutely smoked to just put it out of reach. All right, so less than ideal start. We got Bernsey against McKenzie, and we're down 2-0. Okay, it's in Baltimore. It's 2-0. Don't look at the fact that we gave up 5 runs in the 8th to blow this one. And it was Elmon again. I gave him all the credit for becoming reliable again, and he blows a game and got cooked in the other one. So he's pitched like shit. Let's go ahead and bench him for 2 days. He probably wouldn't pitch tomorrow anyway. Although there will be the day off too. So yeah, let's just give him some breathing room. Ramirez and Lewis go yard. Westberg, Santander, and Rutschman go yard for them. All right, so that was a 6-5 loss. That one's painful. We get the off day as my birthday. As we head back home for 3, obviously we need these. And it's going to be John Gray against Brandon Woodruff. Give me 1. Cleveland wins 10-4. Let's go. Rutschman goes yard, but Bailey, Kerstead, and Ramirez go yard for us. Atta baby. Kerstead. Now, Ramirez has 2 homers in this series. He's coming around, right? We talked about his bat lagging a little bit. Here he comes. Gray got knocked around a bit. All right, game 2. Let's just get this tied up and then play a 3-game set. I think if we get it tied up, we got to play out the rest of the games. I think we got to make a special exception against Baltimore here, but only if we tie it right here. We have to make it 2-2. Actually, even if we don't, we're playing the next game because it'll be an elimination game. So either way, we're playing the next game. We'll be in a positive spin or with our backs up against the wall. Let's see. Let's go. It'll be a positive spin. 7-4 win. Rutschman goes yard again. We cannot stop him right now. Lewis and Bloggs go yard. Bloggs is first of this playoff run, or of this series, I should say. A 3-run shot. Let's go. Royce Lewis hits the solo shot as a big move. Okay, that wasn't a walk-off or anything. Sorry, I was setting it up like that because the way I saw the little line go here. But he also had a run-scoring double in the 5th, so he had 2 huge hits down the stretch. So love to see that out of Lewis. All right, so we got ourselves a 3-game set, y'all. Last game in Cleveland will be the last game in Cleveland for the season or just for a little bit. Looking at the matchups, of course it does not go for us. But they get Adley over Bailey. Understandable. We get Bloggs over Westberg. Let's go. I love seeing that. Royce Lewis and Connor Norby are tied. They get Kobe Mayo over J-Ram. Kobe Mayo has developed into the stud that he's expected to be. Okay, fine. Again, it's by rating, so I'm not going to dispute the objective rating, but like It's a tie as far as I'm concerned. We get Rocchio over Nick Maton. Cool, because that's probably not their normal starting shortstop. They get Cowser over Stowers. We get Lonnie White Jr. over Ced the Entertainer. They get Santander over Kerstead. And they get Manzardo over Condon. And they get Grayson Rodriguez over Cantillo because Grayson Rodriguez is a 70 overall stud. So, wind blowing out to left at 11 miles an hour. We could see the ball flying, folks. Strap in. Here we go. Game 5. ALCS. Let's get to the 6th. And we're down 2-0. Okay, not terrible. Not great, not terrible. It just is. It's a deficit. That's what it is. We'll get Raylo warming and Arias. 90 pitches for Cantillo. Okay, the one downside of doing this, maybe I should start doing this to like the 5th, because now he should already be out, Cantillo. He's at 90 pitches and he's teetering into the red. Like, I almost don't even want to give him one batter here, but I have to because nobody's warmed up. So maybe I should start a little bit earlier on these to help the guys out. So we'll do the one batter here. It's first pitch swinging. And it's cracked deep to right, but caught, thank God. And then we'll do a mound visit. And he says he's done. We only have guys that are warming. They're not quite ready, but we got to bring them in. I need to go Norby. Oh, because the way they set it up now, it's not 2 packs of lefties. It's 4 in a row. Okay. So we did get Wambezied again. Norby cooks lefties. Do I dare use Raylo for one batter? Is that not a waste? He only threw 2 pitches 2 days ago, too. But he gave up a homer, and they said, nah, you're done. Do I dare do that? Just let him face Norby and then go to Arias for the next 4. Let me sit him for a second, and let me see what we've got. All right, Alamon cannot be used today, neither can Aiken. They're fully out. Everyone else is good to go, though. So what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to put Raylo in for one batter. 1-2 pitch coming. Lifted to left. Playable. 2 down. Okay. So just one batter. Arias is now ready. And he's going to hopefully get this last out and then get the next 3 lefties for the 7th. But let's see what happens here. 2-2. That one's lifted to center. That's going to get down. That's going to find a little gap there. Nice little stop by Lonnie White, but it doesn't prevent the double. He made a nice little sliding move there, but it didn't help anything. So first lefty gets a double, and it's Nick freaking Maton. No shade, but also a lot of shade. Like, he's a decent little player, okay? He is. But going lefty-lefty like that, that's frustrating. Ced the Entertainer, 1-1, and he's going to dump one into center field. It's going to be a RBI single. So we bring in the lefty for 4 lefties in a row, and he gives up back-to-back base hits. Strikes out Manzo, though, to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 6th, down 3-0. Let's hit a RISP. And we get one. Okay. What happened there? Was that just a solo? Yeah, strike out Bailey, ground out Rocchio, solo J-Ram. So it's 3-1. We're on the board. That's something. At least we're on the board, baby. Let's go. I think we'll warm up. Actually, we'll warm up Cade Smith. And then we'll save Heron for the next time that the 4 lefties come through. All right. Full count to Condon. He's going to flare one. Oh, God. I was hoping that was going to be dumped into right for a little base knock, but it was not to be. All right. So that's the end of the inning there. Let's get Cowser. Hopefully 1-2 pitch. Lifted to right, but playable. 1 down. And now it'll be Rutschman. What does he do besides dominate? Oh, he does not do well against lefties, though. So this is an opportunity for Arias. Let's see what he can do. 0-1. Little tapper. Second baseman fires over to first. 2 down. All right, so it'll be Mayo. And Mayo cooks everybody. Mayo just dominates. And then Santander hits lefties. Westberg didn't play in the majors this year. He just was wallowing in AAA dominating. I guess he wasn't wallowing if he put up numbers. Well, I guess you could still be wallowing and dominate. But either way, 27 years old, putting up a 3-WAR season in AAA because they have too many good players. Must be nice. Must be frickin' nice, dude. All right, so was Mayo the one that struggled against? Oh, no, he hits both sides. So you know what? Since we were so light on our Raylo usage, I'm going to get greedy here. I'm going to push Arias one more guy. First pitch swinging. Hits him. Son of a bitch. All right, that's what I get for being greedy. Go to Cade Smith for Santander. 0-1 pitch now. Ground ball to second. Retires the side. All right, so we're still down 2. What can we do here with Kjerstad, Lonnie White Jr., and Stowers against Grayson? He's only at 75 pitches, y'all. He's only given up the 1 run, the solo shot to J-Ram, who's now on fire, by the way. Remember, we were just talking about him a moment ago, saying he lagged a little bit, had a few contributions, but hasn't done that much. All of a sudden, on fire. Fly out there for Kjerstad, 0-2 to Lonnie White Jr., strikeout, obviously, and Stowers, 2-2 pitch. And liner to second, yoinked to retire the side. All right, we go top 8 here. We got right, and then the 4 lefties coming. So let's get Heron warming. Cade Smith, we need you to get these 2 righties here, starting with Westberg. 3-1, that's going to be a walk, you piece of garbage. No, it's not. It's going to be a flyout. Yes. Pessimistic Pete, go take a seat. Oh, bars. Incidental bars. Full count now to Norby. Struck him out. Sit down, Norbert. And the lefty brigade is up now. And that'll be it for Cade Smith. Tim Heron coming in to face the lefty brigade. Hopefully it's the last time we see them this game. Although, in a weird way, if we see them again, there will... Well, no, not necessarily. Never mind. As I say, if we see them again, it'll be a positive because that means we've tied it and we're in extras. But not necessarily. They could hit around to the point where they just bat again in the 9th somehow. That would suck shit. 2-2 to Maton. Ground ball to third. Ramirez fires over to first. Boom. Retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We're down 3-1. We've got Bloggs, Lewis, and Bailey going up against Hunter Green, a reliever for them, who found his footing in the bullpen. 2.80 ERA, 1.10 whip. That doesn't surprise me. I can see that happening in real life, too. Now, there's no need to take him out as a starter in real life right now. He's having quite a nice season, if I recall correctly. Yeah, 3.79 ERA, 1.17 whip. He's been great, Hunter Green has in real life. But he's 24. We'll see how it goes. He's had some health issues. He's had some walk issues. If things don't pan out as a starter for several years, he'll get a second shot in the bullpen, and I wouldn't be surprised if that works out very well. But I want him to stay as a good starter. I love Hunter Green. I just don't trust him for fantasy because of that park. It just terrifies me. All right, let's see what Bloggs can do here. 1-0 pitch coming from Hunter Green. Speaking of homers, that's going to be a base hit to center. Does this Hunter Green have home run issues the way the real one does? He's gotten it up to 50. That's not bad. And the reason that real life Hunter Green has done well this year is because he's only allowed 0.9 homers per 9. After allowing 1.7 and 1.5 the last 2 years. So he's really improved. Or he's running hot. That could be part of it too. I haven't seen enough to know if he's truly improved his home run rate with skills, or if, hey, the fly balls just aren't quite leaving the yard at the same rate. As there's a fly out there by Royce Lewis, it'll be Patrick Bailey now with 1 on, 1 out. They're going to throw over, and they got him. Are you joking me, Bloggs? I can only be so angry because of how good he's been, but you got to be kidding me, dude. To get picked off there. 3-1 to Bailey. This makes it worse. Now, you don't know if you're going to get a walk after, if they don't do the throw out there or whatever, but the idea that we could have 2 on, 1 out right now. Oh. Rocchio, 0-1. Come on. Be great. Nope. Ground ball to short. They'll go the easy way with it to retire the side. All right, we head to the 9th, down 3-1. It'll be Mullins, Manzardo, Cowser against Heron. 1-0 pitch coming to Mullins. He's going to dump one into center for a base hit. Our lefties just keep giving up hits to these lefties. 1-1 to Manzo. Ground ball to second. Oh, and it gets under the glove of Lewis. 2 more hits for lefties. At least we throw him out at second. That's a goofy animation, but at least we got that. So 1 out, 1 on, and that runner's at third, trying to get that run back. It'll be Cowser here. I'll get Neely warming. 1-2 to Cowser, and he laces one to right field. That's going to be an RBI base hit. Damn it. So 3 of the freaking lefties that Heron was supposed to get got hits. What do you do? What do? You play the numbers, you do the matchups, and things just don't break your way. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. We're going to stick with Heron here for Rutschman, and then we'll go to Neely. 2-2. Lifted to center. Looks playable and is 2 down. All right, we'll go to Neely here, hopefully to get Mayo. 2-2. Struck him out. Okay, so they get the 1 run back, though, to make it 4-1. We got the 3-run deficit again. We're going to need 3 plus. 3 to keep going, 4 to win it against Green here. We do start with J-Ram. We got J-Ram, Condon, and Kerstead. J-Ram rips one deep to center. Back. Gone. J-Ram says, I'll do it myself. Get on my back. 4-2. Condon now, 1-2 pitch. Punchy City. I think we're going to make a switch. We're going to move Condon. We are going to move Boggs up. I talked about, having him up down at the bottom there and kind of jump starting the second half of the lineup. Well, with Condon nicked up and struggling, I think it makes sense to just switch them. Full count to Kerstead. Struck him out, 2 down, and Lonnie White Jr., 1-2 pitch. Struck him out, ball game. So Baltimore takes a 3-2 lead as the Orioles beat the Ramirez's 4-2. 2 J-Ram solos are all we got. They had four runs. I feel like we let one slip away there. They're a great team. They're trying. They're doing things well. I'm not saying like they didn't earn it. I'm saying things did not go well with the setups that we had that looked good. Namely the lefties. Namely the fact that the lefties had 8 hits and 5 of them were against left-handers. I don't know. Lefties are not birthrighted to get lefty batters out, so it happens. It's just frustrating when it happens in a pivotal Game 5 of a playoff series against your rival. That's right, they're our rival now. That's already sealed. Now, it might be one of those rivalries that's kind of one-sided because they always kick our ass. I am open to that potentially happening, but as it stands right now, they are our rival. And we will, if we don't come back here and win this, back to the drawing board with the idea of having to beat them again. They are going to be the rabbit that we're chasing, at least for the near term of this sim, without a doubt. Do we have an off day here? Okay, we do. Take the off day as we head back to Baltimore for 2 games. You heard me, for 2 games, because we're going to win this game and force a Game 7. Frick, I'm amped. All right, with the off day, that brings everybody back in the bullpen. Excellent. And I mentioned the blogs move I wanted to do. Look at me remembering something I said in a game once I come out of that game. I have a terrible habit of just plain forgetting that. So we'll go blogs, J-Ram, Lonnie White struggling as well and striking out a ton, he and Kerstead. So maybe let's split them up a little bit. The 2 strikeout happy guys so that they're not just back-to-back punchies. You know what? Let's do this. Let's put Namgung in. Let's try to start something. Let's get a little jump start going with Namgung. He played well. I don't know for sure if the Condon injury is impacting him. He got hurt on 10-16. Since then, he has a great game. Like, he had a 4-hit game 2 games ago, a hit in the game after that. So it's not killing him, okay? I want to be clear on that. But this is one of those things where it's like, hey, we are still nursing an injury with him. Let's do that by giving him an off day where maybe we wouldn't normally. But in this instance, we're going to, as a way of kind of jump-starting the offense too. Let me go back to that strikeout situation. Because Lewis is striking out a ton too. So is Stowers. And actually, they're all 4 in a row. So let's go a couple steps further on that. And let's put, you know what? I think I'm going to lead off Namgung. I know, kind of crazy, but he doesn't strike out. He puts the ball in play. Try to get things started at the top of the order. Actually, you know what? Let's bat him 1. Let's go Namgung, Ramirez, Rocchio, Blogs. And what does Rocchio blog? Rocchio blogs Lewis. And then Kerstead Stowers Bailey. Like, can you believe that Kerstead Stowers Bailey? That's disgusting. All right, Bailey is having a nice playoff, if I remember, right? Yeah, he's doing well. He's still striking out, but we'll put him in the mix here too. So the bottom half of our lineup strikes out way too much. That is a bit nerve-wracking. I will freely admit that. I don't have a solution for it right now, though. Maybe an Arias start somewhere, but for who? No, just the one move. Condon out for a game, Namgung in. Our life is on the line here. Let's go. Okay, so we got the lineup move in, right? Just want to check it one more time. Yeah, Blog's batting 4 now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have him bat 3rd. I want him to bat in the first inning there. So here's what we're going to do. Let's start this game, and let's watch our first inning. See if we can just get a jump. Can Namgung fire us up a little bit? He's first pitch swinging. He said, let's get this party started with a flyout. Okay, couldn't get the party started. J-Ram, 2-2. Struck him out. And Blogs, 0-1. At least it's not a punchy. It's popped up so high on the infield. So it'll be 3 up, 3 down. Okay, we're going to go to the 5th. Because remember, the last 2 times we went to the 6th. And our pitcher was pretty much cooked. And that was a bad feeling. Because we had to pitch them another batter or two to get somebody warmed up. So we'll go to the 5th with bad news. We're down 5-0. All right, well, this team's relentless, y'all. We got to be relentlesser. We got to figure something out. I'm going to warm up Aiken and Alamon. I'm going to do a RISP for us. We get nothing. Reynaldo Lopez is in right now, so I'm going to do a RISP for them. They get 2 on, 1 out. That's bad. I'm going to try to trust Raylo here. 3-1. I shouldn't have done that. Walked him. All right, that's going to be it for Raylo. The lefties are coming in. 5 lefties in a row. And here comes Aiken, hopefully to get out of it. Their former player, 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Full count. Ground ball. Boom, Aiken gets out of it. Okay, so we keep it at 5. We need something here. We got to get something going. And we do get a leadoff double, it looks like. Actually, excuse me, we get a leadoff walk followed by a steal. I should have known when there was a count that something happened in this at-bat to move Ramirez to second. That's how you can know that. Oh, shit, I forgot to take out Alamon. I know some of y'all have mentioned turning on the auto-sit relievers. I think I'm just going to need to at some point. It is becoming more of a hindrance than like, I added it in as like a difficulty dynamic of like, make sure you do that. Like, don't forget to warm up, guys, to kind of give that real life feel of it. But it ends up being more hassle than it's probably worth. So I might just be ready to retire it. I need Blogs to go Yabo here for a 2-run shot. Can he do it? 2-2? No, he strikes out. Rocchio, 1-1. Cracked. That's going to be a base hit into right. Runners at the corners now. Ramirez stays at 3rd. It'll be Kerstead now. Speaking of getting your old team. 1-1. Sky to left. A sliding grab. What an amazing play by their left fielder. That was Kauser. It will score a run, but just an amazing play there. That could have been a double in the gap, and instead it's a sac fly. Royce, 1-0. He skies one to right. That's going to retire the side. So we get a run, but it's 5-1. We're still in some real trouble here, y'all. Oh, Westberg's not a lefty. I said 5 lefties in a row. He's a right-hander. My fault. But then there's 2 more lefties coming up, so Westberg's going to get the lefty here. 2-2. Ground ball to short. 1 down. Manzo, 1-1 pitch. And he skies one very high. Shallow infield. Or actually shallow outfield, I guess. But either way, it's an out. And then Kauser, 0-1. Ground ball to first. Boom. All right, so top 7. Keep chiseling. This is me chiseling. Keep chiseling away. We need 2 runs here. Make it 5-3. Make it 5-3 and we're in this. I'm going to hit a RISP. and we don't get shit. I'll just go fuck myself. I'm sorry, guys. I'll just go and not win, I guess. I don't know. I was going to say something else, and then I decided against it, and that's what came out. All right, so Aiken is still okay, but he's only going to get Rutschman here because Rutschman's awesome, but he actually isn't that awesome against lefties. So we'll take the edge there and hopefully get an out, and then we're going to bring in a righty. 1-1. Rutschman's 0 for 2 on the day. Ground ball to first, and he'll take it himself. I like that. Blog says, no, I got it. I got it. All right, that's going to be it for Aiken. Job well done. I kind of wanted to go to Neely, but he's still warming up, so I'm not going to force it. I'll go Alamon here. But then I am going to hit a RISP. And they get 2 on, but 2 outs at least. So it's walk, strikeout, walk. Freaking Alamon, dude. You know what? I can't have you botch this. I have to go to Neely here and snuff this out. It's too precious. I know it's a lefty, but first off, we only had a righty available, and I have to trust Neely against both hands. He's been one of our best pitchers all year. It doesn't matter who he faces. We trust him. Can he do it for us? 0-2 to Mullins. Boom! Struck him out. Let's go. All right. We've got 6 outs to play with, y'all. It is do or die time. Felix Bautista coming in for the 2-inning save. As you know, he does have a 1-4 homer 9. If you're looking for the fly in the ointment, it is the long ball. Can we get to him? Let's find out. It'll be J-Ram, Blogs, Rocchio. 1-2 to J-Ram. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Oh, no. What a play. Oh, what a play. What a freaking play. But we do get the infield hit. Okay, sorry. That's a range of emotions there. Because I said base hit, and then I saw Westberg make the dive, so I thought he made the play. Turns out when I turned my back, it still was an infield hit. Breathe. Breathe. All right. Everyone's favorite blogger. Full count. Walked him. Oh, no. Where the literal fuck was that pitch? Eric Gregg Angel Hernandez. It's the red 7 right here, y'all. Well, the number 7 is white, but it's the red one that I'm pointing at. Like, it's not the most egregious, but you just called 2 balls in that same area in this same at-bat. What the fuck made that one a strike? That's a nightmare. All right, Rocchio 1-2. Punchy. And Kerstead 2-1. Lifted to right, but camped under it is Santander to retire the side. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-1. I'm going to hit a RISP on them. Always hoping that I'm going to get to the next inning and never doing that. They always get something. All right, let's go to Arias here for Manzo and Cowser. 0-1 to Manzardo. Ground ball to first. Boggs will take it himself. 2 down. And now Cowser. Base hit up the middle. Make it 6-1. It's going to be desperation mode next inning, y'all. I mean, it is desperation mode, but yeah, we're in deep trouble. Again, I asked for this. I wanted this team. And I did. I really did. Like, I wouldn't have been mad that we were facing the Rays, but I want to beat this team. It's going to be very accomplishing and feel great if and when we beat this team. But will that be today? Odds are no. Let's just be honest about it, but let's see if we can do it. Royce, get us started. 1-0. He cracks one to short. Westberg fires over to first. 1 down. 2-2 to Bailey. Struck him out. And that'll leave it up to Stowers. He's first pitch swing. He says, I'm not going to strike out to end the season for the ball club, but I am going to get an infield hit and keep it going. Let's go. He says, we're not done yet. Lonnie White Jr., what do you got? You're ice cold. You know what? I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to go Bo Naylor. He's a lefty with some pop and walkability. Let's see if he can do something for us. Keep it going. Full count. Struck him out. Ball game series. season. The Baltimore Orioles are headed to the World Series after beating us 4-2. Hell of a season, but ends in the same bitter defeat to the same bastard team. 4-2 this time instead of 4-1. Felt like we were a little bit more in it. They went on to win the World Series last year. What will they do this year? They'll be facing either the Diamondbacks or Mets. Let's figure out who they're going to face, and let's get you a World Series winner and get out of here. Game 6, Diamondbacks win it. Wow. So they go down 2-0 and then win 4 straight. These cardiac snakes, baby. We saw what they did in the divisional. Unbelievable. And so the Diamondbacks will face the Orioles. If this Diamondbacks team beats the Orioles, I'm not going to lie, I'll be kind of pissed. I don't really know why, really just being a bitter baby about it. But how good are they? Maybe I'm underrating them. They went 90-72. I mean, they got some names in the rotation with Peralta and Freddie Peralta and Dustin May, but they didn't do that well. Bryce Jarvis was their best starter performance-wise. They got Jordan Romano closing out games. They got a really nice offense here with a real meaty 4-pack here with Corbin Carroll, our own Josh Naylor, Ketel Marte, and Christian Walker. Are they who signed Naylor? Okay, I didn't remember that. If you had asked me as a quiz, where did he sign? I honestly would have blanked. Embarrassing on my part. But year 1, he takes him to a World Series. Maybe we should have kept him. He had a 118 WRC plus with 27 bombs, 114 ribbies. Not a bad campaign. Not a bad campaign at all. And might be getting himself a World Series trophy here. All right, let's see how this World Series goes. This one's turning into a bit of a long one, but it's all the playoffs in one, too. So instead of being, 3, that would have been 3 separate playoff episodes that would have been markedly longer than the hour and a half that we're on right now. It would have been the Twins, Mariners, and Orioles sets separately. So I still think this can work here as a mega episode. All right, game 1 in Baltimore goes to Baltimore. Jimenez is back. Hooray. Too little, too late. So we would have gotten Jimenez back for the World Series. That would have been awesome. Diamondbacks tie it. We're going to Arizona. And Baltimore wins game 3. Game 4 in Arizona goes to the Orioles. Okay. So they're up 3-1. Now, the last 2 times that the D-backs were in a position like this, they reeled off multiple wins in a row. They were down 3-1 just like this to the Dodgers. They win 3 in a row. In the LCS against the Mets, they went down 2-0 and then won 4 straight. Can they do that here against the Orioles? I'm going to guess no, because I'm a pessimistic Pete, but let's see. Game 5, nope, ball game. Gentleman's sweep here, 4-1. The Orioles win again. They are such a juggernaut, y'all. Powerhouse, whatever. I got to get a thesaurus and start coming up with some new words to describe them because they are unbelievable. Jackson Holliday with 3 homers is your World Series MVP. They are amazing. Back-to-back champions. Who won it in 24? I don't remember that. I think it was like a kind of a surprising winner, if I recall correctly. But I don't remember who that was. 24. No, it was the Orioles again. No surprise at all. What are you talking about, Paul? Yeah, 3 straight for the O's. At least the game's realistic. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. Like, they're so good, I wouldn't even be surprised if this happens in real life. Now, we know it's a lot harder to do that. The playoffs are wild like that, but will anybody be surprised if they reel off a bunch in a row? All right, y'all, that's going to cap it. The 2026 season is in the books. Again, a success, right? I mean, we made it to the LCS again. I know we want to make it to the World Series. We want to win a World Series. That is vitally important. Totally agree. But we added 2 more wins to the ledger. We added an extra win against the Orioles before defeat. We are moving forward. Lots to do in the offseason, though. Our big hitter, our big hitting addition is 33 years old. Like, where are we at with him? We got a team option for 15 that we're going to obviously bring him back on, but is there a world where maybe we sell high on him? I don't know. We got lots to consider. We will get going with that next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I will have, again, the draft and farm report episode mixed in here sometime in the offseason. It'll be a quick standalone, like 30 minutes going over who we drafted and a look at some of our top prospects. So look out for that as well. Take care, y'all. Peace.